chosen ones, empaths, and all of the authentic, genuine souls out there that might not identify as chosen ones or empaths just yet. After this experience you endured with this narcissist in your life, you are going to level up. I want to put in a disclaimer though, if you stay in the mind state of why did this happen, why don't they love me, why do they have to be this way, it's going to prevent you healing. I can understand you being in that state of mind for a period of time, but ultimately you've got to try and break from that mind state as soon as possible. Hold on, bear with me. Yeah, you've got to try and break from that mind state as soon as possible, because that does really prevent your healing. But I promise you, okay, I'm not saying it's going to happen instantaneously. Okay, it's not going to happen instantaneously. But the person who you become from who you was in the relationship with the narcissist is two completely different people. I'm not saying that you're going to become horrible and mean and stuff like that. You're just literally going to enhance and grow and evolve and spiritually evolve. And you're just going to become such a more complete person. Okay, you're just going to become such a more complete person. And that's why I always advocate for not going into relationships straight after, not trying to heal through people, not seeing the narcissist that was involved in your life going on with a new relationship, and then you just do the same, because they're keeping watch. They're keeping watch on you. A lot of you don't believe me when I tell you this, but I've spoken to numerous people that agree. I've seen it in the comment section. Narcissists love to keep watch on their former supply to see if they're broken. Okay, so this is why look, for example, say the narcissist involved in your life moves on with a new supply, okay? However it ended. Discard, reverse discard, you cut them off, however it ended. And they move on with a new supply. And they're keeping watch on you. And they see you, they see how you were at the ending of the relationship. Perhaps you were begging for them back. Perhaps you were pleading with them. Perhaps you were trying to reconcile. And then they see you with someone new straight away. They're going to know that your heart's not in that. They know that. They know their own heart's not in this new relationship they're in with this new supply. They know their heart's not in it. Their mind might be in it, but their heart's not in it, or whatever's left of their heart. They're not seriously going into this relationship with the new supply to help the new supply. They're looking to do the same things that they've done to you, deceive you, gaslight you, hurt you, manipulate you. That's ultimately what they're doing. So if they see you immediately rush on with someone new, it's not gonna do what you think it's gonna do. A lot of you think it's gonna make them jealous. Like, there may be some tendencies in a narcissist that will like feel a bit jealous or a bit like that, but ultimately it's not really gonna be worth it's not ultimately gonna be really worth, how can I put this? It's not ultimately gonna be really worth it in comparison to if you heal. If you heal ultimately first. See what I mean? Let's say they see you and they just see you getting on with your life. See you going to the gym perhaps, or they see you going to an event and they're watching your social media and they see you doing these things. They're going to be confused. They're going to be thinking, what's going on with them? See what I mean? It's more mysterious. It's gonna grate on them more. Okay? Please, there's nothing worse than going into a relationship when you're still not healed from your past. Ultimately, they all end in a bad fashion. And this could even be if you met someone genuine and true. You could meet someone genuine and true, and if you're not healed from your narcissistic relationship, the one that was involved in your life, you're going to ruin that person. And they don't deserve that. They don't deserve that. If you're just because you're not healed enough. So that's why I always advocate for you to spend a period and a portion of time alone. To stay informed on topics like these, subscribe to the channel. To become a supporting member, please use the link in the description box below. But I promise you, you're going to level up. Like, in so many ways, you're going to level up. You're even going to start to look different. You're going to do things. That's why I say, be kind to yourself. Do things for yourself. Your whole entire soul is going to be cleansed. As long as you do what I tell you to do and don't stay in the mind state of, why doesn't the narcissist love me? I want them to love me, or I want them to change. Can't they be nice again? Like, as long as you don't stay in that mind state, accept it for what it is. You've got to accept it for what it is. They're a disgusting, dusty weirdo, despicable creature. Okay? You've got a door slam, bolt and weld it shut. Make sure they never come back in your life again. Even if you've given them chances before, you've got to make sure now they can't come back in your life again. Okay? And this is going to wind them up. So this is going to frustrate the narcissist, you know. They're going to find out that you're leveling up. Perhaps they're going to see that you... I've heard of people getting new promotions at work, people doing better on in their life, people finding their purpose, people finding their meaning, people doing things with their own life. They may not be in a relationship right then and there, but they're doing things with their life and they're leveling up. And the narcissist is watching from a distance and they're getting pissed. They're getting resentful because they don't level up. The person, this is what I mean. If you left it a number of years and then you actually sat down at a table with that narcissist that was involved in your life, you'd be like, what the hell? Like, you'd be like, who the hell are you? Because they'll be impersonating this whole new persona, this accustomed to the new supply and stuff like that, and the person that you even knew doesn't exist. And also, they wouldn't even recognize you because of how much you've changed. Like, there'll be nothing there. You know, there'll be nothing there. But they don't elevate and grow the same. Like, they don't elevate and grow. Like, they might not be the same person because they're putting on a new persona. They might even have tendencies of what you were into and displaying things that they'll try and talk to you maybe in the same way that they talked to you before, and it just wouldn't work. But that's all hypothetical. You're not going to sit down with them in a few years' time. You're not going to talk to them again. Oh, I have to put this in. For those that have children with them, I always say to you, okay, just grey rock them and use parallel parenting if your children are young. Because a lot of you probably listen to these videos and you're thinking, all right, Zan, I'll get it, but I have children with them. So what am I meant to do? And that's why I say do parallel parenting so you communicate through the app. Okay? If your child's 4 or 5 or 6 or whatever, and that goes on until they're 18 or whatever the age of it, and they turn into an adult is, then at least the communication that you have is through an app. They can't call your phone, and you can also put in place that you meet in neutral locations to exchange the children. And then when they start to try to talk to you about things, because they're going to, you just grey rock them. You act disinterested when they talk about things between you and them. And if they want to talk about the child, you can show interest. If they say, oh, our son has done this at school, you can act interested, you can be there, you can be talking to them. And that's the only way that it's really going to work in a situation you have children. Remember, you are blessed to have a child on earth. I don't have a child on earth. It's a blessing to have a child. Even though it's with a narcissist, it's still a blessing to have a child. So don't feel like you've drawn a short straw or something. I know you love your child, but I mean, don't feel like this was a mistake or something like this. I'm not saying that your child was a mistake, but like, don't start wishing that the narcissist wasn't the parent and stuff. I can understand your mind state going there, but it is what it is. And if you implement this parallel parenting and the grey rock method, it's just as powerful. They're going to let them go on with their new supply. You just do you. Look after your children. Speak to them through the app. All they would want to do is speak to you through the phone, or speak to you through social media, or speak to you through the ways that they used to have, the outlets they used to have to be able to speak to you. So it's a powerful thing. I've spoken to people that it's helped. I've spoken to people that have actually done that off their own accord. Before I'd even spoken to them in sessions, they were already doing that. They already had that in place and it's working well. And they're saying that the narcissist keeps trying to phone them or text them or do these things. And you've just got to maintain the connection through the app. It really frustrates the narcissist because they can't do the games that they want to do to you. So it keeps them at bay slightly. Okay. But back to the point of what I was saying. Look, I'm not saying it's going to happen instantaneously, but you are going to level up. You're going to become a whole new person, and you're going to look back at that former version of yourself, and I don't know how to describe it. You're just going to become so much more a better person. Not that you was a bad person before. This is the thing. I should have probably said this earlier. Not that you was a bad person before, but it's like you ain't willing to give that love and that care and that empathy and stuff to people who don't deserve it. Okay? And on your path, while you're leveling up, that's why I say just don't worry about being alone. Don't worry about not being in a relationship. There's so much importance put on being in relationships. It can make people depressed. It can make people miserable. Honestly, don't let it do that to you. Honestly, don't let it do that to you. Make sure you just heal. There's nothing better than healing, taking time out and healing. And if you meet someone in the future and they're decent, but then you've got to make sure you have your discernment switched on. Because as I've been talking about in recent videos, these narcissists are changing. Okay? These narcissists on this channel, these narcissists on other content channels, they're starting to learn about what the empaths are doing. And one of their tactics is to act like an empath. So watch out for the narcissists that are involved, or future narcissists that try to act like empaths, because that's a new tactic they use. That's the new tactic they're using. So watch out for that. But that's why I say, if you put the importance into leveling up, into becoming your best version, nothing's going to stop you. Nothing's going to stop you. You're going to become stronger. You're going to become more resilient. You're going to become more enhanced. And what I would suggest is channeling your energy into something of creation. Channeling your energy, like I've spoken to people who've written books, spoken to people who've done artwork, I've spoken to people who have done songs, or in the comment section who are singing, who have done YouTube, who have done things. And I know many of you may have a job, or you may have your career or your business that you're running, or you're caring for your children or whatever. You may be busy and your time might be occupied, but you can always set aside some time. Not right now. Don't let this overwhelm you. I'm not trying to put any pressure on you or anything like that, because when you've just gone through not even just gone through, you could be some years out and you're still hurt by what happened to you from the narcissistic relationship. But a time will come and you will find something to get your teeth into, something to motivate you, it will enhance your character, enrich you, you see. And like I always say, the first thing that comes along doesn't necessarily have to be your purpose. It can be one of those mini purposes that are leading you onto your other purpose. Because when I look back at my journey, like I mentioned before, I got a job abroad, then I started a business, then it led to YouTube, and it all kind of interlinked. It wasn't straight one after the other, but it all kind of interlinked when I look back on the path and the journey. Because I used to work in electrical. I need to get back to it. I will get back to it at some point. I have done some jobs this year, but then I tried to focus on our channel. But one of the jobs, the client was Google. It was a data center in Belgium. So I went and worked there, and then COVID broke out. So I was going to go on to other countries and work on all these projects around different countries. and then COVID broke out, and also Brexit happened, which I'm not sure you're aware of. England left the European Union, so the passport didn't. You'd have to get visas and stuff. But COVID was putting enough restrictions in place anyway. So then I saw that fall apart. So that was my purpose at the time. I thought I was going to start working on these different countries and stuff like that. It was a good experience. And then because there was nothing happening, I started this business up that I ran through the course of the year. So while people was out of work and stuff, I managed to start up a business and get clients, and it was working well. Then that ended. I ended up closing that down due to unfortunate circumstances, but it happened for a reason. But it did do well for the time that it was open. But the point that I'm making is, I never used to use. Just look for the signs. I used to use YouTube for music. I used to listen to an album on YouTube or stuff like that. I didn't really use YouTube for anything else. I used to listen to music on YouTube, but and I don't use social media, so I never thought that I would do a YouTube channel. So that's why I'm saying something might come into your path that's out of your comfort zone. It's out of my comfort zone to do YouTube. If you go back to my early videos, I was just it just come to me one day to start putting out content, and it grew from there. Now I know this might not be for you, YouTube or whatnot, but something will come into your life which helps you level up, because this has helped me level up in ways by connecting with fellow authentic individuals and chosen ones and empaths, and having the chance to run sessions and the membership site and things like that. So I can see some sort of path anyway. So I will say that you will level up, and this is what I mean. The person who you become is totally different from who you was in that narcissistic relationship. So just be aware of that, embrace that. You are going to become this new version. Like I say, it doesn't happen overnight. Sometimes it could take some years. I've spoken to people that it's happened very quickly. They've managed to transform very quickly, but that might not be for everyone. Remember, a lot of healing needs to be done from going through this narcissistic relationship. But just remember, when you reach these points in your life, and you achieve and you do well, the narcissist is keeping watch on you. They keep watch for a very, very long time. I can promise you, 99 to 100% sure, they keep watch onto you for a very, very long time. A very, very long time. They keep watch, and it's so strange. It's so strange, and they'll make themselves known. You know, it could be years. It could be 4 years. I've heard crazy numbers where the narcissist pops up again. 6 years. All these 10 years. The narcissist pops up again, and it just indicates to show that how much you was on their minds, and obviously they were watching through that whole period of time as well. So you do aggravate them. So just embrace that you are going to level up. And there was something that I was describing this as I've forgotten what it's called, how I was describing it. You're being molded. There was another description I was given. Through this process of healing, you're being molded and shaped to become a better version of yourself. So although you may be in uncomfortable circumstances, upset, depressed, down, anxiety, all these things, you are being shaped and molded to become a stronger version of yourself. You really are. Okay? You really, really are. So don't worry about anything. Just be patient, and just know that you're a work in progress, and you're changing for the better. And like I said, remember, just don't rush in too soon with new relationships, because it doesn't benefit the chosen one, authentic soul, and empath to just rush into new relationships, even though it may seem like it's something you want to do, or you need, or you want. It's actually counterintuitive, and it doesn't actually benefit you. So thanks for listening today. To become a supporting member or to donate to the channel, please find the links in the description box below. And if you'd like to know more about the narcissist life after you isn't an easy ride, click this video here, and I'll be back with another video soon. Peace.